I'm Sally. I'm the president of the Friends of Scotchmans Creek and Valley Reserve, which is a local environment organisation here in Mount Waverley and Glen Waverley. We're here looking at litter and the problems with litter in our local creeks. Our creeks are very stormwater driven, they're event driven, and the problem really is that huge amounts of water come rushing into the creeks every time it rains. And this means that all the litter that people drop in the creeks washes into the stormwater system and down into the drains. And here we have a beautiful example, a drink container, a plastic drink container. Now, if we had refundable drink containers, if we had a deposit on drink containers, the number of drink containers that we would find lying around in the environment would be very much reduced. The water quality from the point of view of a local urban stream is really quite reasonable. This is an urban environment. We have pollution on the streets from cars, brake dust, petrol droppage, all sorts of things that are just something that you can't avoid. That washes into the creek, and that's all right. It comes and goes. So if you have a big rush of water, it will wash the streets clean, and so the water quality will degrade a little bit, but it comes back fairly quickly. Melbourne Water have put lots of little wetlands in with the idea of capturing pollutants in the soil, in the wetlands, and that seems to do quite a good job. But really the water is not bad. We do get wildlife living in our creeks. We have lots of birds, lots of ducks. We have things living in our environment, and they survive. They don't fall over dead through nasty pollutants. We do occasionally have businesses who do the wrong thing, who perhaps empty out a grease trap at the weekend into the stormwater system, or who've forgotten to keep track of things sitting in a shed, and they sit there too long and the bottom of the can rusts out, and then before you know where you are, you've got stuff seeping into the ground below. That has happened in this area. The other problems that we have are plastic bags. They blow all over the place. Again, there are states in Australia where if you go to the supermarket, you do not get a plastic bag to put your shopping in. You have to bring your own bag. So that considerably reduces the number of plastic bags floating around in the environment. The other problems that we have are takeaway food containers and confectionery wrappers. They're all too easy to take out of the shop, but when people have finished eating the contents, all too often, unfortunately, they just drop the wrapper. These things do not degrade in the environment. They last for a very long time, and they end up again in our stormwater drains, in our creeks. And this local creek runs into Gardeners Creek, and from there into the Yarra, and from the Yarra into Port Phillip Bay. So every time you go out to Port Phillip Bay, you have the potential to be swimming around in all of the litter that was dropped in your local suburban environment. There are ways we can stop this. I've mentioned deposits on drink containers. One other thing is for councils to put grills on the entry point to stormwater drains at the side of the streets. That would prevent things as large as this from getting into the stormwater drain. The bottle would stay in the street. It might not look very nice in the street, but perhaps people would be encouraged, shall I say, to pick up things that have landed on their nature strip or in their local piece of gutter, and to clean up the environment that way. It's a question of all of us being educated and all of us taking much more responsibility with the environment and with the things that we buy and how we dispose of them, and to dispose of them properly.